श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरू श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सागररघुनाथान्वितां तां सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So this is the chapter 10, opulence of the absolute. Opulence, it's like literal meaning is in Hindi Ashwarya, opulence. So opulence of the absolute meaning, opulence of the absolute truth, which is opulence of Lord Shri Krishna. Okay, and here he will talk about that everything which you see, like of all the like he will explain that from the holy that he is the Om, all that he will explain further if you see here. That of the Adityas, I am Vishnu, of lights, I am radiant sun, I am Marichi, among stars, I am the moon, all that. Of Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. So even Lord Shiva is none other than Lord Krishna only. He's all the personalities which we see great. Lord Krishna will tell about their origin. Okay. So let's start. Before we start, any questions anyone has from previous classes or specifically chapter 9 or any questions in general also? We normally towards the end of the class, we don't have that much time, but in the beginning we can take questions if you have any. Okay, then that's fine. Let's go. So the chapter, as you know, chapter 9 was the most confidential knowledge, and where Lord Krishna talks about Arjun, and he gives his concluding remarks or concluding statements in the last verse, Man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru, where he told Arjun that you, through the medium of Arjun, he's telling to all the devotees that you do four things. Always remember me, uh, and man mana bhav bhakto, meaning worship me, become my devotee, engage your mind in thinking of me, offer obeisances to me, and worship me and become my devotee. Four things. And if you are able to do this, then you are completely absorbed in me. Surely you will come to me. Come to means you will definitely, one who follows this instruction and faithfully with utmost sincerity uh, puts into the practice, then definitely he's going back to Krishna. He does not have to come back to this material world to take birth again. Like he's going back to Lord Krishna, right? So he's directly giving that surety. And then he tells that even if you worship anyone else, you are worshiping me only, but you are doing in a wrong way. Indirectly, you're worshiping me, but you are doing in a wrong way. So clearly, he here establishes the bhakti aspect. So he's just glorifying the bhakti. So now the chapter 10 starts with again Lord Krishna speaking that he says, listen again. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, listen again, O mighty armed Arjun, because you are my dear friend. For your benefit, I shall speak to you further. giving knowledge of giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained. So again, you see here, he's saying, because you are my dear friend, that's why I am speaking to you further and giving you more knowledge, more confidential knowledge about myself. And again, the criteria, as I mentioned, to receive this knowledge is one should be non-envious from Lord Krishna, and one should have a favorable mood, one should have faith, and one should, yeah, sincere. Like this Bhagavad Gita is not for someone who is uh, non-devotee. At the end, in one of the purport says Bhagavad Gita should be only spoken amongst devotees, because as I mentioned, those who are envious of Krishna or those who are following other paths, they don't appreciate that, and instead of doing good to them, they do more harm. If they think ill of Krishna, they get more negative benefit, they get more pap. So Lord Krishna will not punish, but his energies, his shaktis will punish that person. If someone blasphemes him, or whatever, like blasphemes the Bhagavad Gita, or himself. So last time, I think Deepti Mataji was asking question. We should not try to argue with these people. Just give them prasad. That's it. They are not yet there to understand this knowledge. And Krishna says that whatever path they are following, let them follow. Let's not interrupt what they are following. And it's between them and Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is sitting in even their hearts. So he will give knowledge from within when he sees appropriate. Okay. So again, for us, the criteria is that it should be someone who is favorable. He's the right recipient to receive this knowledge. Someone who is innocent, favorable, right? And devotees take all risk and distribute this Bhagavad Gita to all the people, because we don't know who is innocent, who is envious. So we just give to everyone. So further, Krishna talks in verse 2 that even neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences. For in every respect, I am the source of demigods and sages. Right? So here Lord Krishna is telling that neither Devi Devta, they also don't understand Lord Krishna's origin or his opulences, nor the great sages, like we had great sages. So basically, he's saying uh, being born in family or in the lineage of demigods, or being born in a high family, or being a scholarly like a great sage yogis, it's not a criteria to know him. Like he does not get attracted by those things. And one of the things is Krishna reserves the right to reveal himself. Like it's not that anyone and everyone just reading any literature will know, unless Lord Krishna himself wants to reveal himself to that person, nobody can know him. So there is this Yog Maya Shakti potency of Lord Krishna, which creates a wheel. Wheel means parda. So people will not see or understand his true nature. It's only he chooses to whoever he chooses to reveal, that person will only know him. That is the mystic opulence of himself. That's why he's saying even the great demigods, they don't know him, right? And this brings me to the, because it's a pastime or for Lord Ram showed that when he went to the forest, there were great sages, many great sages. Some were just drinking water and living like that. Some were only taking fruits. Some were only taking one meal a day. Some were very austere and they were taking only air. So all these sages who were in the forest when Lord Krishna entered, they were thinking that Lord Krishna is coming, will definitely come to their kutia, their hut, to give them darshan. But when Lord Krishna came there, they saw them outside. They thought they are coming to him. But Lord Krishna asked, not Lord, Lord Ram asked for Shabri. Now, Shabri, by any material qualification, was not doing any austerity, or not doing what to call like very highly learned, but she has one good quality that his guru told him that one day Lord Krishna will come to your place. So every day in the morning she will get up and will clean his house and decorate it in the hope that Lord Ram will definitely come. So she had the firm faith on his guru's what he calls guru's sentences, guru's vakya, and she had firm faith and she had that love. What and that's why it says that Lord Ram went directly to Shabri's home, and Shabri was want to feed Lord Ram with what you call bear, right? Bear. And she was very concerned that she does not want to feed her those fruits which are not sweet. So she was eating one bite herself and making sure that it's good and then offering to Lord. And Lord very happily accepted that. Like if you go by normal means, one should not offer, one should first offer and then take as prasad. But here, Lord Ram was not relishing that what you call the fruit. He was relishing the prem, bhav of Shabri. So this shows that Lord is, as I mentioned, both Lord Krishna, Lord Ram, same. They are bhav grahi Janardhan, like they relish the bhav of the devotee. They are not, because everything anyway belongs to them, so they are not attracted by big worships or big tapasyas or all those things. They get attracted when the devotee wholeheartedly gives themselves in their devotional service and with their bhav, prem bhav. So that's what Prabhupada also explains in this purport, that no one can understand. If you read here, no one can understand why the Supreme God comes to earth as an ordinary human being, executes such wonderful, uncommon activities. And he says that one should know that scholarship is not the qualification necessary to understand Krishna. Okay. So being a very learned, being highly scholar, being a very respected personality in society, all this actually somewhere or the other creates actually the hindrance, because somewhere down the line person becomes puffed up. I am this at this, I have done so much, I am this highly known person. But Lord does not get attracted with this. As soon as pride comes, it repels Lord. Lord Krishna will not give darshan, or even as soon as the pride comes. He does not like any iota of pride in his devotees. Okay. So all these devotees which we see from Srimad Bhagavatam or from Ram Leela, even Lord Ram's friends, you see, they were all like prideless. They were having no pride at all. They were just simply thinking that they are just the servants in the hands of Lord Ram, and they just want to serve him with without any motive, no motive. Say Prabhupada says, because most men cannot understand Krishna in his actual situation, out of his causeless mercy, he descends to show favor to such speculators. Okay. And he was talking about that, yet despite the Lord's uncommon activities, these speculators, due to contamination, still think that impersonal Brahman is supreme. He's talking about others' faith, the impersonalist who considers impersonal aspect as supreme. But that's not true. Only the devotees who are fully surrendered unto the Lord can understand by the grace of Supreme Lord that He is Krishna. The devotees of the Lord do not bother about impersonal Brahman conception of God. Their faith and devotion bring them to surrender immediately unto the Supreme, and out of the causeless mercy of Krishna, they can understand. So, as I mentioned, Krishna, without his mercy, without his will, nobody can understand him. So that's why we unless Krishna sanctions, nobody can even take path of this devotional service, bhakti. So Bhakti Devi chooses the right candidate, and then Lord Krishna approves that, and then only one can even discuss the subject matter or understand. Otherwise, it would be just, he will not have that qualification, which is the faith which is required, right? So Otherwise, Prabhupada says no one else can understand him, not even great sages. So even the great sages agree what is Atma, what is Supreme, it is He whom we have to worship. So no one else can understand. It requires sanction of Lord Krishna himself. And once one takes to this path of devotional service and surrenders, and we have discussed how one surrender, we have to surrender through the Lord Krishna's representative, which is the spiritual master, Guru, who comes, who is as good as Lord Krishna. So when the disciple surrenders to the Guru by taking Diksha and following what Guru says, that is considered surrender. Then Krishna considers that soul as part of his family, his lineage, and that from that point onwards, the that particular soul is out of the clutches of Maya, or he's not in the jurisdiction of Maya. He directly falls and Lord in the hands of Krishna. Like Krishna directly controls their life and guides them from within. That is how it works. Okay. So further, Krishna explains that he who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme lord of all the worlds, he only undiluted among men is freed from sins. So now in text 3, he's talking about what is the result of properly understanding him. That one who understands him properly in Tattva, then he's already getting freed from all the sins. He's getting the freed from all sinful reactions, right? Um, and these are all the is one of qualities that he is unborn. Like it's not that Krishna takes birth here on Earth, on the planet Earth when he comes. No. Sometimes people say today is the birthday of Krishna. No, it's not birthday. We don't say birthday because he doesn't take birth or he doesn't die. He comes by his own will and he goes by his own will. So what we say is appearance day of Lord Krishna because he appears and disappears. Appearance day of Lord Krishna, which is Janmashtami, right? Appearance day. In Hindi is called Avirbhav, but not birthday. Birthday is for us because we take birth here not by our own will. We are forced to take birth based on our previous karma, and we are forced to die. But that rule does not apply to Lord Krishna. He is unborn and he is beginningless and without being anadi. You say ajam. Ajam means unborn. Anadi means without beginning. And he is the supreme lord of all the worlds. Again, that he claims that he is the supreme lord of all the world means all the material worlds, all the spiritual worlds. He is the supreme lord, and he only undiluted among men. So one who understands this, that person is already freed from all sins, right? First of all, to understand this, you need a lot of piety to not just understand but internalize this. You need a lot of piety. So that person is already cleaned of all the sins. Someone who is very, very sinless will not be able to appreciate this and will not be able to even come closer to this verse or not be able to, what you call, accept this truth. Okay. So, so the one of the goals of or what reading Bhagavad Gita is to know about Lord Krishna and become his devotees. That is the only goal, actually. Even when Lord Krishna appeared in Mathura, right? All of you know the pastime that he did not take birth as normal person. He appeared first in his Chaturvyu form as Lord, and when Mother Devaki saw that form, she immediately understood that Lord has appeared. And then Mother Devaki requested him to appear like an ordinary child, and then he changed from that Chaturbhuj form to an ordinary child form, transformed himself. And then there was and then he was, Vasudev took him from Mathura and took him to Gokul, right? So and in Gokul, and then he left there. So even before Devaki, he appeared in his original form and gave that darshan to both Devaki and Vasudev, and then he transformed himself into an ordinary child. And throughout the Krishna Leela pastime in Vrindavan, we'll discuss one today. He showed his his all the opulences, like his godly qualities, right? But the Vrindavan Vasis never consider him as God because that interferes in the rasa which he was enjoying with Vrajvasis. Like if they think himself, if that in that rasa, that godly, the feeling of awe and reverence, Aishwarya comes, then it actually dilutes that. Then they cannot. For example, if Mother Yashoda knows that this my son is the supreme Lord, then how can she uh, how can Lord experience that Vatsalya Bhava, or how can Mother Yashoda reciprocate, right? Then Aishwarya Bhav takes over the Vatsalya, the parental affection, and that's not what Lord Krishna relishes. As I mentioned, he does not relish that much Aishwarya. Like stutis, like Lord Brahma and all demigods, they sing big stuti, big prayers, but he is not attracted to those stutis. Even if Brajvasis give him or says bad words to him, he relishes more that bad words, like Gali. That's why if you go in Braja, that bhakti is special there. Why? Because that bhakti is without Aishwarya, and they they consider him Krishna as their own. Right? Outside, it's all more of Aishwarya. So in this verse, this word comes Vetti Loka Maheshwara, which again means that one should know that Lord Krishna is the supreme proprietor of the planetary systems of the universe. All the planetary systems in material world is he's the proprietor. He was existing even before the creation, and he's different from his creation. Okay, so he was there even before this material world exists. And we know this material world comes into being and then temporarily it destroys, again starts, but he is the source of everything. So he was existing before the creation, as he's not same as creation. And further, it's mentioned that all the demigods, all the Devi Devtas were created within this material world. But as far as Krishna is concerned, it is said that he is not created. Therefore, Krishna is different even from the great demigods like Brahma and Shiva. And because he is the creator of Brahma, Shiva, and all other demigods, he is the supreme person of all planets. Okay, this point is very clear that the demigod Devi Devtas are like Jeev Tattvas, like they are the personalities. They have a lifespan, and they have some particular Jeev Tattva. The difference is Jeev Tattva versus Vishnu Tattva. Like from Tattva perspective, from the fundamental, this is the difference between us and Krishna. Right? Krishna is Vishnu Tattva, like he is the source, but we are Jeev Tattva. We are part and parcel of him. So he is the origin of everything, and we come from him. And because we are in this material world, somehow, even though soul is eternal, because it comes from the source, which is eternal, but because it is covered with the material body here, we are somewhere in called a marginal energy, Tathastha Shakti, which means we are neither now fully spiritual, neither fully material. We are somewhere in between because, and that itself is one of the energies, Tathastha Shakti, marginal energy. The soul is covered with the layer of material, like subtle body, which is again material, and the cross body, which is material. Okay. So all the demigods are like Jeev Tattva only. They also take birth, they also die, again take birth, keep again die, like that. And they can only award any material benediction, but that too they rely, or they receive that power to do anything from the Supreme Lord. Okay, let's go further. So now further he understands, he says intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of senses, control of mind, happiness, distress, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame, and infamy. All these various qualities of living beings are created by me alone. So everything is, even the qualities which we see, is coming from him only. Different qualities, be they good or bad, are all created by Lord Krishna himself. Nothing can manifest in material world without, which is not created by him. So all the qualities which we see are created by him. Okay, so and we need to know that by the practice of good devotional service, by the practice of bhakti, automatically all the good qualities develops in devotee. He does not have to endeavor to separately develop all these good qualities. When one takes the path of devotional service, person gets all the godly qualities also, good qualities. He automatically develops within himself. Okay, so we'll just know, like you all know, intelligence means the power to analyze things in their proper perspective. That is intelligence. So if the intelligence gets corrupted, then the person loses the sense of right and wrong. And but if intelligence is right, meaning if the power to analyze things in proper perspective is correct, then the person is on the right path, right? So intelligence is very important. It's like a gateway. So mind, intelligence, and false ego, that is the subtle body, Shukshma Sharir, which we all have. And this subtle body, the mind nature is it keeps generating ideas, like whether good, bad, it keeps generating. In a day, even by scientists, they acknowledge that mind generates, I think, around 50, 60,000 ideas. And if we are just following, if you're not following devotional service and just in the material realm or following, then many of these ideas are negative. And then intelligence is the one which filters those ideas. Okay, this is what I am going to do. This is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad. Okay, this idea is not good. It does not take closer to Krishna. I'm telling about the intelligence of devotee, how his intelligence is different from material. So devotee's intelligence will always say, okay, the idea which takes me closer to Lord Krishna or progresses me to advance in bhakti, I will take that. I will reject all other ideas which will take me away from Lord Krishna or his devotees or devotional service. That is the intelligence of devotee, how it should work. While the intelligence of person who is non-devotee or material, he'll say, I will just do all things which helps, which benefits me. Like he will think me means in material sense, like it gives me more material things, more money, me, my wife, my family, my children, and my home. His his intelligence is surrounded by that thought that whatever benefits me, even if I have to cheat someone, if it benefits me, his intelligence works like that. Then I should do it. He loses the sense of right and wrong, um, and slowly centered around himself, me, my family, my home, all these things, because he has so great attachment, but he doesn't think about the spirituality or spiritual or what is right, wrong. So in that sense, he commits so many sins, thinking that he will benefit his family. And there is a pastime now. It reminds me of I think Tulsidas. Tulsidas was before he became Tulsi, as he was a dacoit. And one day he had darshan of Narad Muni. Narad Muni is a great sage. So Narad Muni said, "Why you are doing this ghastly act? Like why you have to steal and be a dacoit?" So he say, "I do this to serve my family, to make their ends meet." And Tulsidas says, "Okay, so you are committing sin. Have you checked with your family? Will they partake your sin because you are doing, as you say, for your family?" So he went back to his family and checked. And both wife, children, they refuse. They say, "Why we should partake of your sin, right? Why we should? You are doing sins. Why we should share your sins? We are not." And then he comes to his senses that he's committing all these bad things just to uh, uh, bring happiness, which he thinks will happiness to his family, but he's doing acting in a sinful way. Then he came to his senses. And same is the case like in India, we see many people, many particularly it's so prevalent government, like they take bribes, they try to earn money through illegal means. Why? Just to satisfy the demands of the family, right? But by doing that, their intelligence gets corrupted. They think that is right because I am serving the family, I'm making things, I'm bringing happiness to family. But he's forgetting that he's committing the sin of cheating someone or making someone uh, taking the bribe illegal. This is all illegal money. So any money which is not earned in the right way cannot bring happiness to the family. It will definitely bring distress. So in one way, the money will come, other way it will go because someone or the other may fall ill, will have light-threatening diseases, all these things will happen. But he loses that intelligence and thinking that I am doing this for my family. And one day he will go to the jail, prison, and then he has to again go to the jail alone. Like family can't do anything because he's the one who commits. And we see big personalities are behind the prison just in the greed of money, right? So that is what Krishna tells here. But if one practices Bhagavad Gita and truly uh, develops devotional attitude, automatically his intelligence gets corrected. So instead of uh, so his intelligence, as I was saying, will make him only accept ideas which are generated by mind, which are favorable for bhakti, which will only take him closer to Lord Krishna and not take him away. I hope this is good, right? Intelligence, I hope you all understand the difference between intelligence and mind. Okay. So this intelligence is very essential. Knowledge is something which is gives us the distinction between matter and spirit. That is the true knowledge. Not this material knowledge like bookish knowledge which we learn. That only helps us to make our living. Academic university today only talks about matter, right? In none of our education system they are talking about spiritual knowledge, or they even scientists deny the existence of soul itself. So all the academic university education which we had from grade 1 to 12 in university is totally focused on how to make, talks about matter and only how one can make his living, but completely ignores the spiritual part. That's why it's incomplete. Previously, when the knowledge used to be given to the children in Vedic times in Gurukul, both material and spiritual knowledge. That's why it was complete, but today it's incomplete. So actual knowledge is someone who understands the distinction between matter and spirit and acts with that knowledge. That is knowledge. Freedom from doubt and delusion. Okay. So this is basically in Sanskrit called asammoha. It can be achieved when one acts without hesitation based on understanding the transcendental philosophy. So once one understands the philosophy Bhagavad Gita, then there won't be any doubt in his mind. He will be free from doubt and delusion. He will exactly know whatever is happening to me, my family, or whatever happening to anyone, it's because of my previous karma. So he will clearly know why we are here, what is our purpose of life, where we should be going, everything. All doubts are answered by Lord Krishna in this Bhagavad Gita. So he will be free from doubt and delusion. He will not be bewildered, he will be unbewildered, right? Completely, he will become free from bewilderment, and he will not accept, because he understands things as they are. So he will not accept something blindly. Like someone says this thing. No, he will say, can you show me the proof from Shastra to? So he will rely on the shastric knowledge, or the he will lay importance to Shastra, then X person said that or Y person said that. Because there are three authorities which we have to follow: Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Okay. And Shastra is directly coming from Lord Krishna. And Shastra, the one who even authenticates that this is the genuine Guru and this is genuine Sadhu. If someone is not talking from Shastra, then that means he is not genuine. So a devotee or a person who is in Krishna consciousness will be free from doubt and delusion because his basis of thought process is from Shastra. Whatever is mentioned in our Shastra, Vedic Shastra, that is truth. Whatever is not mentioned is not truth. Simple. So you will not say that, okay, this person said that, and that's why I will follow. So you will be free from doubt and delusion. Then further, these qualities are very important to understand, because then we will be able to practice forgiveness. Forgiveness is the quality of shama, right? Which is very important again, that we have to forgive others, because we have to excuse the minor offenses of others. And other quality with along with forgiveness is tolerance. If someone has tolerance, automatically he can forgive. But if tolerance is not there, then it's very difficult to forgive others. And in one of the, it's not mentioned here, but in chapter 13, Lord Krishna talks about tolerance. And tolerance actually basically means then one should be able to somehow bear insult and dishonor which are inflicted by others to him. So if we can somehow bear that and tolerate that, then it's very easy to forgive. Otherwise, people mostly 99.9% cannot bear that uh, insult or dishonor which are inflicted by others, and then they gets into the argument and trouble and create, and they are not able to forgive, and they keep that grudge with that person throughout their life. Maybe they don't talk to that person anymore, or they have a situation, but they are not able to forgive from within the heart. Maybe from outwardly they will say, "Yeah, I forgive," or "I forgive," or "I have forgiven," but within the heart they still have that grudge, which is not good actually. So forgiveness, again, if one practices devotional service, automatically this great quality of forgiveness comes. And that's why you will see the elevated souls. Sometimes you go and you see some in Holy Dham, some Babaji who outwardly will not look very nice, not very nice clothes, but people will be maybe abusing that person, but he will not take any what you call any offense, right? So this quality of tolerance and forgiveness is very important, because in this material world, one thing we have to understand, we are living in an imperfect world. Everyone is imperfect, and people have tendency to criticize others. They actually relish in gossiping and criticizing others, right? That is the nature of this world. So we have to just ignore and not take it to our heart and become what you call that someone insulted me or someone dishonored me, and we should just absorb it and forgive that person and move on. Okay, but there is one thing here. If someone says something to us, we can take. But if someone blasphemes our let's say Lord Krishna or our Vedic scriptures, or someone attacks our family or guru, we should not just act like that. Like we should either be able to defeat that person, or we should leave that place. In Shastra, it says one should not tolerate any insult to a guru, to the Supreme Lord, or someone is if he's aggressor or attacking the family. No, one should not. So it's only applicable to us. Like if someone insults me, I will take it. But if someone insults my guru, or someone insults Bhagavad Gita or Shastra or Lord Krishna, I should not be there. Like I should be able to defend that. If I'm not, I should leave that place, not sit there, stand there, standing, hearing all the abuses. So that is what we have to be uh, knowing about. So that's why that's another reason one should not engage or do get into the argument with the non-devotees, right? Uh, yeah. Okay. And truthfulness, I think, did we cover? Yeah, truthfulness, satyam. It means that we should present the facts as they are for the benefit of others. Facts should not be misrepresented. However, we should say the truth in a way that it should not agitate others. Truth should be spoken in a nice way, putting the facts, but in we also need to know how to present the truths. like not offending others, not making others agitated. That is the quality of devotee. He will say the truth all the time, but he will not offend others or say the truth in a way which agitates others. Right? See here, Prabhupada also writes, according to social convention, it is said that one can speak the truth only when it is palatable to others. But that is not truth. This is according to social convenience. Truth should be spoken in a straightforward way so that others will understand actually what the facts are. If a man is thief and if people are warned that he's a thief, that is truth. Although sometimes the truth is unpalatable, one should not refrain from speaking it. Truthfulness demands that the facts be presented as they are for the benefit of others. That is the definition of truth. And amongst our close family members or amongst devotees, it should be spoken so that it does not agitate others. That statement is there in chapter 18 of Bhagavad Gita. The truth should be spoken, which does not agitate others. So that's about truthfulness. Then control of senses. We all know that senses should be engaged in the service of the Lord, and automatically senses needs some engagement. You cannot sit idle. Okay, senses are very strong. They can overpower any time. Control of senses is something, but if the senses are engaged in some service of the Lord, then they are engaged, right? And then they will not trouble you. Otherwise, if you are idle, you say, right, idle mind is devil's workshop. Very difficult. Then they will agitate the person and also and then make him do certain things which are supposed not to be done. So control of senses will automatically come when one engages in the devotional service. And senses needs enjoyment, right? All of senses, tongue needs enjoyment in the form of tasting nice things. So one should offer it to the Lord and then accept. Eyes always wants to see good things, so these senses are very strong. So once we see and make our life in a way that we only engage senses, whatever we do, it's related to bhakti, then automatically our sense control happens. Okay, that is what is sense control. And then happiness and distress. Happiness and distress, as we know, talking about material happiness, this will come, sukh dukh will come. This is all, everyone is destined with six things, which is birth, death, and next is birth, death. So when one is taking birth, at same time his death is already written, meaning done, meaning how many, to that specific language, it's very accurate, how many breaths, कितनी सांस लेंगे उतना तक accurate रहता है. So birth, death, and then happiness, distress, sukh, dukh, and then uh, uh, man, apman, like these six things are more or less fixed. You can't change that. So that's why we should not worry about material happiness and distress, because whatever you are supposed to suffer, you will suffer. Whatever you are supposed to enjoy materially, you will get that. You don't have to do anything extra to get more, or you don't have to do so. Always, we have to always consider, as I mentioned, what is favorable for my progress in bhakti, right? And then happiness and distress automatically we get and it will go away. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it's very Prahlad Maharaj, like he gives a very nice example that nobody asks for uh, or when the good times are happening, right? So sukh automatically comes, right? No, he gives the other way, sorry. So dukh, the distress automatically comes, right? Nobody asks for dukh. Similarly, sukh also comes automatically without. Sometimes people think, okay, if I uh, don't do this, maybe I will not be happy. But whatever everyone has a quota of happiness and distress. This thing we have to very understand it very nicely, and then so what everyone has a quota. When someone takes birth in the material world, he's given a quota, and one cannot even enjoy an iota more than what he is destined, and one will not suffer an iota more than what he's what is there in the quota. So this is like a dukh, sukh and dukh, the material too. But when one engages in the service of bhakti, in the service of Lord Krishna, he gets a lot of spiritual energy, which will make him, which makes this material sukh dukh irrelevant to that person. He does not bother about material discomforts. I'll give you example, like many devotees, many uh, sadhus, they get some disease, right? Some disease, sometimes some failure of kidney or some cancer or this, that. But because they are practicing devotional service and they have full faith in on Lord Krishna, those diseases are not, they are not bothered by those diseases, or those diseases do not pose hindrance in their path to devotional service. So their thought process is, okay, I will engage my body, I will engage myself in the service of Lord Krishna, and it's up to him how much time I have to live and how I live. So even if this bodily discomfort comes, let it be, it will go away. If Krishna wants, if Krishna does not want, then I may leave the world like that. But what if, till the time I am here in this world, let me engage me 100% in in his service. So because this, as I said, this comes from sukh dukh, comes from our previous past karmas, uh, and everyone is born with that quota. So happiness and distress is part and parcel of this material world. Okay. Then there are more, right? Sukh dukh. Then there is birth, death. Birth, death, we all know. Fear, fearlessness. Fearlessness automatically comes in devotee because he's one of the qualities of devotional service. It grants abhay. It gives fearlessness because person understands that if Krishna wants me to be here, then nobody can kill me. Death, he is not, devotee is not worried about death because he is prepared to leave this world because he knows he is engaging in the service of Lord Krishna. And whatever Krishna desires, at least his next birth, even if he's not able to fulfill or 100% complete his devotional service, his next birth would be in a family of devotees, right? Or his next birth is guaranteed to be a good one. So he's not worried about death. The people who have not done any preparation, they are worried about leaving the world. Death, like death, as I said, like is like a exam. So one who is prepared before the exam will not worry on the day of exam. Like he will leave the world happily because he knows that throughout his life he has practiced. But someone who has not practiced, then at the time of death, it's difficult for him. Like either he's too attached to something, then he will think about that, or he does not want to leave. That's what death and fear brings. But fearlessness is one. If one is fully surrendered, then he's no more having any fear. What fear he will have, right? Because he does not fear about anything. Everything is coming from Krishna. So whatever Krishna desires, I will accept. That's his thing. So fearlessness is only possible in Krishna consciousness because one is confident about his spiritual identity that I am the soul, I'm part and parcel of Lord, I am the servant of Lord. And then he engages in transcendental service. And also he has a surety of his bright future. Why? Because Krishna says, my devotee never perishes. So Krishna will take care. So even he's sure about his bright future that one day he will definitely be going back to Bhagavad Dham. He has does not have to take birth. And even the chanting of one name of Lord Krishna is, or Lord Ram, like we chant Hare Krishna mantra, is so powerful that even Yamraj cannot touch that particular person. Yamraj loses the jurisdiction of devotees. He does not have jurisdiction. Yamraj himself is a great devotee of the Lord. He has given this role to punish the what do you call it? The living entities over here. But as soon as one surrenders to Lord Krishna, Yamraj cannot touch that person. In Srimad Bhagavatam, again, there is a whole chapter conversation between Lord Yamraj and Yamdutas, where Yamraj says to his Yamdutas, don't even go closer to a person who is chanting the name of the Lord. These persons are above, like they are almost very dear to Lord Krishna. and don't even go closer. So the devotees never worry about his death. He gets that fearlessness because he's sure that he's doing the right thing. He's serving he's serving the Supreme. So his next destination is gonna be better than what he is right now. And ultimately, he's going back to the Bhagavad Dham. He's going back to Godhead. So fearlessness is automatically the non-violence. Okay. I think this verse today will take most of our time, but these are important qualities to know. Non-violence generally means ahimsa means that one should not do harm, meaning kill anyone, but also it means one should not have ill feelings for others and one should not harm others even by their words, okay, or not put others into misery. That is part of non-violence. If you read here, non-violence means one should not do anything which will put others into misery or confusion. Definitely, ahimsa means not to kill, that is there, but a greater definition means even not putting people into misery or stressful situations, or this is ahimsa. Okay, not do anything which would put others in misery, and also not uh, checking anyone's progressive life or spiritual life. Here, Prabhupada says, ahimsa means that people should be trained in such a way that the full utilization of human body can be achieved. The human body is meant for spiritual realization. So any movement or commissions which do not further that end commit violence on the society. So what it means is this human body is given for spiritual realization. Now, if any organization, any movement, any society, any commission or any society, or if it do not take people closer to the Lord Krishna, or in fact taking them away, then that is also ahimsa, because uh, they are committing the violence and they are just, because as I said, this human form is very, very rare. This is a kind of a boon which we have, which we all of us which all of us have given by our previous karmas. So, and the goal of human life is to understand this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and revive our eternal loving relationship with the Supreme. That is the goal of human life. So if anyone takes you away from that goal and engages in material things or activities which are not in line with this goal, that is also ahimsa, because after this human form of life, let's say someone whole human life is wasted completely. The next, then he will not get that chance again. Like he has to go back to that 8.4 million species of cycle, 84 lakh ka chakkar, and then he's simply wasted. So any organization which basically uh, not working in line with what is mentioned in our scriptures, kind of committing violence, because they are making people waste this human life, which is very, very rare. Okay, that is what Prabhupada mentioned here. That which furthers the future spiritual happiness of people in general is called non-violence. Okay, because by doing this, we are engaging or making sure that whoever is reading Bhagavad Gita, whoever taking the name of the Lord, their future is secured, right? How they are secured? Because he's guaranteed that first of all, even if he could not finish and does not go back to the Bhagavad Dham in this very life, at least his next birth as a human is confirmed, guaranteed. And that not just human, he will get birth in a good family, in a family of devotees, where he will be given chance to resume from where it was left. So that means future spiritual happiness is guaranteed. It will increase further. But on the contrary, if one is not doing that, then the future is not guaranteed. Someone may take birth as a tree or as a dog or a cat or fish. It can fall into any of the 8.4 million species. Okay, samta. Samta means equanimity, which refers to the freedom of attachment or aversion. So attachment is again comes because of ignorance, avidya, that we get attached too much to the material world because we think everything and too attached to my house or my car, my bank balance or my education. This is all ignorance because, as I mentioned, like uh, we only have to get attachment to Lord Krishna. Rest all is mithya, meaning it's all false. That's what Prabhupada says. To be very much attached or to be very much detached is not the best. This material world should be accepted without attachment or aversion. That which is favorable for prosecuting Krishna consciousness should be accepted, and which is favorable should be rejected. That is called equanimity. Very simple. Like, and if one cannot distinguish what is favorable and unfavorable for his practice of devotional service, then always he can take help from other devotees who can guide. But simple logic is samta means whatever favorable I accept, whatever not favorable I just reject. Satisfaction is another topic. Tusti, satisfaction, very simple. It's like one should be satisfied with what one has got materially and should be remain satisfied. Like one should not be eager to gather more and more material things by illegal activities. That is what I was referring before, right? Where I say people lose their intelligence. They try to gather more and more material goods by doing unnecessary activities, either over endeavoring, like working 16 hours a day, or getting into illegal things, unnecessary things. You should be satisfied with what is there in your quota and whatever is gone, God has provided, and not to be eager to gather more and more. That is what satisfaction means. One should be satisfied with whatever is obtained by the grace of Supreme Lord. This is satisfaction. Okay. And yeah. And then further comes austerity and penance. Austerity penance means doing little tapasya. Austerity, for example, today, whoever is fasting, we are doing austerity. Little tapasya. Getting early in the morning is tapasya. Okay. Eating only prasad is tapasya because we are controlling our tongue. So there are so many things. But tapasya in this age of Kali Yuga, like the big austerity which people in the old age or the previous ages do, we are not able to do. Like in earlier ages, people used to stand on one leg, hold it hand. They used to do so many yoga postures and do tapasya for hundreds and thousands of years. Our body are not meant now in Kali Yuga. The body is not meant to bear those those austerities. So that is not required. Any tapasya which will, again, the rule of thumb is to which will help me to progress in my spiritual journey, spiritual life, which will take me closer to Krishna. We should do that. Okay. For example, fasting on Ekadashi is good because scientifically also it gives a rest to the body. Our digestive system needs certain rest, and spiritually also it's beneficial because the motive of fasting is that whatever time we saved from doing cooking and all that, we engage in the service of Lord by chanting some extra rounds, by reading Bhagavad Gita, something do extra on on these days of fasting. Right? That is the motive. Not that you simply fast, you don't eat, but you don't have energy, and then the full day you are either lying on bed or sleeping. That is not fasting. That defeats the purpose of fasting. Sometimes people to take literal meaning, like they will not eat anything, let's say, but then they don't have energy, and then whole day they don't do anything else, anything productive, like simply lying. Or sometimes people eat too much in the name of fasting, the other things, like whatever fasting things are recommended. We should just take in the right spirit. We should try to do something extra, meaning read something more, chant some more rounds. That is the whole idea of fasting. So here Prabhupada writes, one may not be inclined to practice such fasting, but because of his determination to make advancement, he should accept such bodily troubles when they are recommended. However, one should not fast unnecessarily or against Vedic injunctions. So one should not fast unnecessarily. Sometimes people you see like do that fasting for some political movement or agitation, or hunger, going on hunger strike. That is against Vedic injunction, not required. It is, Anything against Vedic injunction, it brings uh, like it's kind of falls under the category of pap. So fasting should only be done for when it's recommended for the for spiritual purpose, religious purpose, not otherwise. Prabhupada writes one should not fast for some political purpose that is described in Bhagavad Gita as fasting in ignorance, and anything done in ignorance on passion does not lead to spiritual advancement. Okay, so fasting should only be done on uh, for spiritual purpose for advancement. Okay, and then further it talks about charity and finally fame. So charity, we know one should give a part of their income for a good cause. Now that good cause is the best charity is if one can give for the for Krishna, for Lord Krishna. That is the good cause, best cause actually. Prabhupada writes, as what is good cause? It is that which is conducted in terms of Krishna consciousness. That is only a good cause, but the best cause. Because Krishna is good, his cause is good. The charity should be given to a person who is engaged in Krishna consciousness. According to Vedic literature, it is enjoined that charity should be given to Brahmanas. Why? Because earlier Brahmanas in Vedic society do not, they actually, Brahmanas rely on for their living on grihasthas. They do not actually work for the living. Their only duty for Brahmanas is to spiritually elevate the society, spiritually give knowledge, and perform yajnas, patan patan. These are the three things. Performing yajnas, patan patan. They will study the scriptures and make others also study. That is how the Vedic society was developed. It was mostly the Vaishyas, the Grihasthas, and other who has a responsibility to support the Brahmanas. So charity should be given to the Brahmanas. But Prabhupada writes that this practice is still followed, although not very nicely in terms of Vedic injunction, but still the injunction is that charity should be given to Brahmanas. Why? Because they are engaged in higher cultivation of spiritual knowledge. A Brahmana is supposed to devote his whole life to understanding Brahman. Brahma janatiti iti Brahmana. The one who knows the Brahman is called Brahmana. Brahman here refers to the Supreme Lord. One who knows absolute truth, he is the Brahmana. Okay. Thus, charity is offered to Brahmanas because they are always engaged in higher spiritual service and have no time to earn their livelihood. Same goes for sannyasis. Sannyasi is automatically a Brahmana. The one in the renounced order of life is called sannyasi. So sannyasis, again, they don't cook for themselves and they rely on grihasthas, householders, for their living. So charity should be given to sannyasis. Like if some sannyasi comes to your home, definitely you should you should give charity to that person. Or even if Brahmana comes to your home, one should give charity. No yajna gets completed without offering the charity to the priest who does that yajna. Like if you are doing any yajna, like sometimes people do housewarming yajna, or there are so many occasions when we do yajna on charity. Dakshina is mandatory to be given. If you don't do it, it means you are not getting the benefit. And again, like best charities, if one gives a part of their hard-earned income for the uh, for the temple, like Krishna temple, genuinely where he sees that yes, his money is being utilized in giving prasad, distribution of books, distribution of knowledge, all that. Because a charity, sometimes people give charity to, let's say, what do you call beggars, right? Beggars. Sometimes people have see some beggars, they are asking for some money. Now the problem with that is, let's say you give money to that person, but if that person engages your money, your charity, in some wrong things, sinful things, for example, drinking liquor or putting it into the gambling, then you become part of his karma. You will also have to suffer a part of his bad karma. That is the thing. So very careful we have to do, we have to be very careful when choosing whom to give charity, because we don't want to unnecessarily be part of someone else's bad karmas, right? So in those situations, if you encounter any such beggars, give them some prasad. Keep like some prasad in your car, or your thing like some fruits or some dry prasad, and give them. That will actually benefit them, because by eating that, at least they are getting some agyat sukriti, unknowing piety, when they take the prasad and eat it. And if they don't accept, then just say, okay, this is what I can offer. If you are really hungry, then they will take it. If not, then just move on. So so we have to be just careful about our charity also, because we don't want to get into this trouble of engaging in pap. Because if that person, whoever, here is very common. Many times you go to Walmart, or you say, can I get $1 to buy a beer? Right? They openly ask why I would give any money to for a person to indulge in drinking beer or intoxication. So I don't. So we should not. Okay, and then finally comes fame. A man is famous when he is known as a great devotee. That is the fame which we should, and one should not aspire for any other fame. Like, so, according to Lord Chandra, a man is famous when he is known as a great devotee. That is real fame. If one has become a great man in Krishna consciousness, that is his true fame. One who does not have such fame is kind of infamous. So all these qualities which we just spoke about, they are all coming from Lord Krishna. And these qualities are manifest throughout the universe, both in humans and demigods. And uh, and Krishna says, it is me who created these qualities. And last, one who engages in the devotional service automatically gets all these good qualities. Okay, so with that we conclude today's. I think this verse was important, just so that I think you all understand these different qualities which manifest in the devotees of the Lord. All we have to do is just engage in the service of Lord. Automatically, our intelligence and everything gets fixed automatically once you understand this. Any questions? Anything? Was it useful, this one discussing? Because I,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
I think the fearlessness comes automatically, like once
Yes,
we, yeah.
fearlessness will come automatically. One who is chanting every day Hare Krishna mantra, automatically his fearlessness, Abhay, will come. This is end, what you call a side product of doing devotion service. He's not fear, because you know why fear comes, because we do not have what you call full faith on the Lord. If one has full faith, whatever happened to me, I am under the protection of Lord. And Lord says, my devotee never perishes. That means he's protecting all the devotees. Then what is the matter of fear? So that only comes when one is a devotee and practicing Krishna consciousness. Then fearlessness comes. And this comes very early only, like within 1 or 2 years of chanting Hare Krishna mantra, you will see that change in your consciousness, that you are no more fearful. Any other question, comment?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Wonderful, wonderful.
Prabhu.
Prabhu, how much endeavor is good? How much over endeavor is bad? Like,
Okay.
because all the future is we don't know, right? So how
Hmm?
much to strive, like for the benefit of the family, benefit of the store, like kids. Um,
Yeah.
how much is right? Yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, just want to say, like, for devotees, no illegal things required to be done. Illegally, we should not acquire any money which are not approved by the rules and regulations of that country. Illegal. That's strict no-no, because as I mentioned, the money which is acquired by illegal means cannot bring any happiness to the family. It will bring only distress. Now, endeavoring, we have to endeavor, but not over endeavor. That's where satisfaction comes. So endeavor means all of us has to work, and Krishna also told Arjun that you should not give up your occupational duty. You are grihastha, you are a kshatriya, so your duty is to fight. So you should fight, but fight for me. So same, we have to engage in our householder duties. All of us are grihasthas, right? So we have to work, but just work uh, as a matter of duty. without over endeavoring. Like without, as I mentioned, over endeavoring comes when one is working uh, more to satisfy or acquire more of material means. So a, a thumb or rule is like, I think in every country, 7 to 8 hours work is good enough, or whatever work is in your organization, that is good enough. Like, so, and then one should not over endeavor. Okay, I can take 2 jobs, or I will work extra, or I will drive Uber, or I will work on weekends to get more money. No, whatever you are getting out of your normal job, that is good, right? And other rule is like whatever, like at least you are able to chant your rounds nicely, peacefully, without any tension, and able to devote some time to read something on Bhagavad Gita. So let's say 2.5 hours you are able to devote. So that much is good. Rest of the time. And then other thing I hear from one of the great saints, even our work we can make at bhajan, like eight, every one of us has to work for 8 hours. Now, how that also can become bhajan or devotional service if we do with the consciousness, like when we start our work, we pray to the Lord, today, whatever I do at my work, I will do to best of my ability. And please help me and guide me in right direction, and just offer the results to the Lord. And at the end of the day, also, we just again think about the Lord Krishna and say, okay, today I did to my best of my ability, my job. And I just don't, what you call, get attached to the results, offer it to the Lord Krishna, that was result in his hand. Okay, so over endeavor is dangerous. Uh, uh, Over endeavor basically means that you are working hard more and trying to acquire more than what is required, and you are somehow or the other compromising your spiritual life. For example, all those who are chanting, let's say 16 rounds, which is what Prabhupada recommended, 16 rounds normally takes 1.5 to 2 hours. So now if you are over endeavoring, then you may not be able to do justice to that. You may not get 2 hours of time, and then you are not able. So that is over endeavor then. And that is actually detrimental to spiritual bhakti, over endeavor. I hope understand, Venkat Prabhu.
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Endeavor we all have to do. We should not think, okay, from tomorrow I will give up everything and just, no, that is not possible. As I mentioned, as a householder, we have duty, we have family, everything. So we all have to work, but we have to work in a way with the consciousness that everything I'm just doing as a matter of duty, offering the result to Lord Krishna. Okay. And part of our income we should definitely use for charity, for Lord Krishna. So that makes our whatever we earn, that becomes devotional service, because we are giving the fruits of that work to the temple, to this movement, to progress, to further help the temple to distribute books to more souls. Imagine, like, in the month of Bhagavad Gita, we ask people to sponsor Bhagavad Gitas, right? Imagine like those books which you have sponsored, it goes to someone's hand, and that person becomes a devotee. So you will get credit for that, spiritual credit for bringing that person, because you sponsored a book, and that person who is innocent took the book to that book, and it changed his life, right? So you get the spiritual credit of changing someone's life, right? And Lord Krishna says that those who preaches this message of Bhagavad Gita to others, he's most dear to me. Why? Because at least he's helping others to bring those lost, fallen souls closer to Lord Krishna, right? Lord Krishna is like our eternal Father. Father always wants his children to be back to him. So anyone who helps in that makes the Father happy. So that is Lord Krishna's position. So in chapter 18, he will speak. Anyone who preaches the glories of Bhagavad Gita to the innocent people and brings him closer and preaches this message is the most dearest to him. Okay, any other questions before we wind up? Okay.
Prabhu, quick question, Prabhuji.
Yes.
It is said that Lord Krishna is the supreme, the only God as such. So the rest are all demigods
Yeah.
or sadhus or sannyasis.
Right.
In our Hinduism, there are so many gods. So are
Right.
they form of Lord Krishna, or are they all demigods? Like, for example, Ganesh ji or Lakshmi ji, or for example, Ram, or
Yeah.
are they different names of Lord Krishna, or is it the same or not the same?
Okay. I get your question. Yeah. Yeah. So, so Lord Krishna is the origin. So now I will talk about Tattva perspective. Tat means fundamental. So there is two things. One is Vishnu Tattva, meaning anyone who is uh, who is having the same quality as Lord Krishna. So there is Vishnu Tattva and there is Jeev Tattva. Okay, Jeev Tattva means anyone who has
Us.
six vikar, Shad vikar, meaning he takes birth, he grows, and he do a offspring. Offspring meaning he gives birth, and then he decays, and then finally dwindles. Anyone who has this Shad vikar or six things, he is falling under Jeev Tattva, meaning he's not God. He's he's great. He can so Devi Devtas also have this Shad vikars, and all this like they take birth in the family of demigods. Then they grow, they pass some time, then they have offspring, they give birth to some children or child, and then they decay, and then finally they have to leave that body. So to answer a question, Ram is the Supreme Lord himself. No difference between Krishna and Ram. Same. Just a difference in the mood, ras. Okay. Ram is Maryada Purushottam, meaning he goes with the book. Okay. So you cannot have Madhurya Ras with Lord Ram. Or even with Sakhya Ras, which is friendship, there is certain formality. With Krishna, you can have informal relationship, but both same. Krishna and Ram is same. But Krishna and Ganesh are not same. Meaning Krishna, Ram and all the forms of Krishna like Vishnu, Narsimdev, or all the Vishnus, they are all Vishnu Tattvas. And in this regard, what Brahma Samhita says that we have one candle, right? Now with that candle, ignite another candle, and hundreds of candles. But that original candle is still the original, and all other candles also have same quality and same light. So that original candle is Krishna, and all other candles are like Ram, Narsingh Dev, and Lord Chaitanya, and all the Vishnu Tattvas, Mahavishnu, all these Vishnus. But Jeev Tattva is different because he has Shadvikar. So Jeev Tattvas or demigods are great personalities, but they are the authoritative people or souls who are appointed on those positions by the will of the Lord. But they are not God or Bhagwan because they are occupying a certain position or post for certain number of years. And after that, again, they have to take birth like us humans here, right?
So Ganesh ji is not
Yeah,
not.
he's falls under Devta category. Yes, correct. And he's a great devotee of the Lord, by the way. Ganesh ji is a great devotee of the Lord because when Ved Vyas ji was writing or wants to put all the Vedic scriptures into writing because he knew that people in Kali Yuga will have short memory, they cannot remember. So Ganesh ji was the scribe. He was the one who was writing all Vedic scriptures written by Ganesh ji, spoken by Ved Vyas but written by Ganesh. And one of the conditions was that uh, by writing all this, like Srimad Bhagavatam, all this putting into writing, Ganesh ji is confirming to that, yes, he approves whatever is being written. Okay. So he is a very great devotee of the Lord, very learned devotee. He knows all this Shastra. Okay. So yeah.
Yep.
So he falls under Devi Devta category. Dev category, but again, Jeev Tattva. Okay. Thank you so much. I think we are just 10 minutes over time, and
Thank you, Prabhu.
we will again discuss next Sunday. Oh, no, not next Sunday. Actually, next Sunday, I have some training, spiritual training.